learn. He said, be as I am. Be as I am. For I am as ye are. Ye have not injured me at all. He said, look, I made myself to be as y'all. I made myself as common as I could with y'all. You saw me in some of my weak times. Check it out. Let's get on in it. He says, you know, verse 13, you know how through infirmity of the flesh I preached the gospel unto you at the first. He said, look, y'all saw me in some weak state. Y'all ain't always seen me on the mountaintop. My ministry can say that about me. Trim can actually say that about me. Ain't always seen me now in a good state. Because I come in and tell y'all I just cussed 3-4 jokers out. Or I was finna do such and such. And ain't no shame in my game in saying it. You know, it's been plenty of times I've had to say, Stephanie, don't do that. And had to say it out loud too. It's been times I've had to run. I told somebody the other day, I said, just run, baby. Run. Sometimes you got to run. I said, I'm serious. I've literally had to take off running just for me not to do something. To get in some kind of altercation or some type of situation. I've been in situations, I've been so honest in here, and I have literally told and exposed the way I have felt about stuff. I've had to publicly apologize and all, and ain't shame of none of it. None of it. But Paul said, don't let it be in vain. Don't let it be in vain. It was done to show you the way. It was done so that you might walk in victory. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, something is happening with me. I don't know what it is, but I know something happening with their feet. I know it is. I'm disregarding so much stuff right now till it just gets me. Literally disregarding stuff. I'm disregarding some people, man. When I tell you, when I say disregarding them, it's just like God said to me, irrelevant. Irrelevant. And they have literally become irrelevant. Literally become irrelevant. They don't matter now. Some people I tried to bring in. Some people I wanted in. Literally thought it was the right thing to do. To have them in. But had to come to a revelation to realize, that wasn't God. That was you. Because you did not want to see them folk for who they really were. You didn't want to see it. You sat there with that canvas and drew a picture of what you wanted them to be, but really would not see them for who they were. Now I see it for who it is, and I treat it accordingly. Now they're irrelevant. They're irrelevant. Literally, I mean irrelevant. You all better hear what I'm saying to you. Literally, I mean irrelevant. When I say irrelevant in the context, I don't care. Point blank. I don't care whether you there or not. And it ain't no anger in it. And it ain't no bitterness in it. I don't care. I've committed that part to the hands of the Lord. Paul said, y'all have seen me. You saw me deal with all of it, lest it be in vain. Is that what you're going to allow it to be? Are you going to allow the labor to be in vain? Did you think it was just something to be seen, you know? What did you think it was? What did you think it was? It was so that you might have God. It was so that you would learn life and learn life in the purest state. The greatest thing that you will ever have is an honest person in your life. Don't ever forget that. That's the greatest thing you'll ever have, is an honest person in your life. The person that is willing to be honest with you, that is the greatest thing you could ever have. And they're willing to be honest with you to tell you whether you're right or whether you're wrong. They'll tell you. I ain't finished with this text because I'm going to verse 20. I ain't finished with it. I'm going to eat every bit of it up. That's the greatest person that you can have in your life. We're finna see it all in the text. Verse 13. He says, you know through infirmity, you saw me suffering in the flesh, but I yet preach the gospel unto you at the first. Verse 14 says, and my temptations, which was in my flesh, ye despise not, nor rejected, but received me as an angel of God, even unto Christ Jesus. He said, y'all saw me, man. Y'all saw me in my weakest times. Y'all saw me developing. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Let me explain to you what he's saying. I am 6 years as a pastor now. 6 years. Please understand and know this. I didn't know how to do this when I first started. And I'm still developing in it now. And so when I first got started in, I started in the infantry stages. Because anything that you first start doing, you started as a student. You don't start it as no teacher, because you ain't ever did it before. So then you become a student under it. You got to have tutors and governors, just like what he was saying. You got to have somebody that develops you. That's why I have an apostle. You got to have somebody that will help you, somebody that will develop you. So literally, when I started this out, I started it out in infantry stages. I started it out as a babe. And those of you that were with me literally were watching me, as Paul said, come through the times of travail, Msphine. Don't hurt your own stuff. Y'all literally saw me come through times of travail and times of development, times of pain, and learning my way with stuff and trying to figure out how to do this and how to do that and how to deal with this type person, how to deal with that type person. What is the ministry actually built upon? How is the ministry supposed to be? Well, I knew this ministry wasn't supposed to be built on strife. I knew that one. If I didn't know nothing else, I knew that one, and I was going to get strife, baby. You come up in this joint with that strife, man, I'm getting up in your face and will put you out, and I ain't scared to say it neither. I don't do that strife stuff because I knew it wasn't based on strife. That I knew. I knew it wasn't based on perfection as far as human perfection, because I wouldn't ever be perfected in that matter. There would be times as a pastor I would do things that I shouldn't, or say things that I shouldn't. My attitude would be some kind of way or some to the effect, and I knew that. But one thing I wasn't going to be is I wasn't going to be no sterile strife. You can bet that. I knew I wasn't finna be no fireball of gossip. I bet you that. That stuff right there just can't live in my midst because I don't like it. I know what it does. It decapitates people. It tears down folk. And I just couldn't deal. I knew that wasn't part of it. I knew it wasn't. And some of y'all saw that were here. You saw some of that stuff try to come in, and what did I do? Cut the fool, and they had to go. Because I knew that wasn't it. So Paul said, y'all saw me in my weakest state, man. Y'all saw me. He says, but there's one thing I'm grateful for, and I want to tell all y'all that. All of y'all that's still with me, that stuck with me, still sticking with me, I want to tell you something. Appreciate you. I appreciate you. Let me show you something. He says, look. My temptation was in my flesh. He said, y'all despise it not. Despise means to turn away or to reject. He says, y'all saw me struggling, even in my moments of flesh, but you stayed with me. You hear what I'm saying? You stayed with me. It's going to be a reward for you, too, for staying with me, because your pastor done come through. You stayed with me. Okay? He says, look now. He says, neither did you reject me. You didn't say, I don't want nothing to do with her. For the ones that said that did that, I feel sorry for you. I pity you for the ones that walked away, for the ones that came with your mess and all in your strife and tried to tear up stuff and cause all kinds of confusion. Yeah, I feel sorry for you. But, he says, you received me as an angel of God. Y'all look past that. Some of y'all, boy, I get the course. Yeah, you understand it? Y'all start right. Clang. And y'all stay right there, you know. Don't do it now, P. You know, and y'all was there out there. Oh, some of y'all knew how to head stuff off before it could get to me. To stop it, because no, don't do that. Don't like that. Please don't do that. She ain't gonna like that. You understand? And some of it came across where some folks felt like that was too hard. You know, she's too hard. She's too rough. But that was part of my structure. That is part of my structure. Because it is the element of me that likes for things to be right. I just like for things to be right. That's all I want is for things to be right. That's all. That's just it. That's all I ask for is just let it be right. And hey, it's fine. So all of that. So y'all saw me go through that. Sometimes come in spinning, man. I can remember one service I came in and the building hadn't been clean. It didn't feel clean. I wouldn't even preach. It didn't even refuse to preach till the building got cleaned up. Everybody don't clean it up, children and all. I mean, went straight ham. Yeah, I'm talking about went straight ham, man. I'm saying, seriously, but if you would just look, and I want y'all to just take time to pay attention to look to what aggravates me. It's when it's in disorder. When there is disorder and chaos, that's what aggravates me. It ain't been a time you could come to me about a sin you done found yourself in and I didn't help you. Because that ain't the problem. It's that disorder and that chaos. See, I already know we're going to struggle with sin. If we get that order and respect in the house of God and remove the chaos from the house of God, this is the place where we come to find sanity. This is the place where we come to hear from Him. This is the place where our life is mapped out. So how dare we let something get in here that causes us not to be able to hear? I would much rather have chaos out there before I have chaos in here, because this is where I come on a Sunday or what have you days we meet in order for me to be able to woosah, and to be able to get a word and to get a strengthening that's going to help me go back fight out there. So that's the reason why I'm so protective of this here. That's why. I appreciate y'all. I say it publicly. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you. I know it ain't always been easy, but it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. If it's ever been a time I corrected you about something that you wasn't wrong in, I apologize. If you wasn't wrong in it, I apologize. If I corrected you in something, rebuked you in something, and you wasn't wrong in it, and you know you was right in it, I apologize for it. But I can tell you this right here, I'm going to need you to come and tell me what it was. I want you to come and tell me what it was. Even now, I don't care if it was 2 years ago. I want you to come and tell me what it was, what I rebuked you in that you were right in, that you were righteous in, and I rebuked you in it. Come and talk to me and tell me what it was. I don't mind apologizing if we can see that I was wrong in the era of rebuking you in it. I don't mind. But I want you to do this right here. This is the only thing I want you to do, is I want you to understand that I see some things that you don't say. I see some things and I hear some things that you don't say. You can say with your mouth, Pastor, Jesus, I'm going to just put it in the words of Jesus. Jesus said, they say that they love me with their mouths, but their heart is far from me. So sometimes it may be something that is deeper than the surface. Something that's way deeper than what's on the surface. So if you are a shallow individual, and if you are an individual that struggles with taking any type of correction, then you're going to have issues. And what that type person needs to do is make sure that they hang close than anybody. Because that part of you has got to be cleansed. That part of you, that jagged edge has got to be smoothed off. And so what you do, instead of running off, you need to get closer, because you got to make sure that that part inside of you that doesn't like authority, or that part inside of you that is so easily offended, what causes you to get past that is the connection. It's staying close. See, I ain't gonna let you go. You got to pull an Elisha on an Elijah. I ain't going nowhere, Joker. I'm staying right here because there's something inside of me that's trying to